Okay, let's start. Please, Charles.
Okay, good. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, awesome. Let's get started.
Could you
So,
be
hi.
louder? We cannot hear you clearly. Can you see something, Charles?
Hey,
Now it's better.
Okay, please.
We can hear you.
Oh, we can hear you now. Please
Okay.
start.
so I can start it right.
Yes, maybe a little bit louder. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Chan Jiajie Li from City Science Lab Shanghai, and I'm very delighted today to introduce the concept of the community DAO. And firstly, our today's workshop will have 5 sessions. The first one is a keynote presentation, and second one is a tutorial game, and the third one is a sandbox game. The fourth one is a group discussion and a forum at the 5th session. And also great thanks to all the team members contributing to this project. And actually, this is a very exciting moment to explore new models for cities. Periods of rapid changes create opportunities for innovation, and cities are undergoing yet another time for disruption and transformation. I'd like to take a few minutes to summarize our work by answering three basic questions: why, what, and how. So firstly, let's start with why. We can see growing inequalities, and one thing need to be emphasized is that the economic inequalities are even greater than the social inequalities. And regarding the climate, I think you have been aware of some of the global issues, and we believe that global warming is still the most threatening challenge. And we can also note that the increasing number of disasters every year. And we trying to take actions at the city level, because about a lot of global emissions, wealth creation, and population growth are happening in the cities. So, in view of all challenges and the significant role of cities, can our urban development process cope with it? Let's quickly review the current process. The current development process starts with the developer submitting a proposal to the relevant planning authority, and then the planning authority will review the proposal and make a decision of approval or disapproval. Sometimes the planning authority will hold a public hearing for opinions. However, such a process is not compulsory. Such a process has 3 problems. First, the communities don't have the say due to the often skipped public hearing process. Secondly, the decision-making process for both planning authority and public is normally lacking evidence, and they mostly relied on experiences and personal knowledge. And thirdly, the construction is conducted and owned by the developer. The issue of like gentrification, misalignment with the local needs, and the exclusivity are no strangers to today's urban development. So are there any current alternatives to improve this process? Actually, in some countries like the United States and China, The government has started to initiate some pro-social policy for new constructions. A common practice is to require a certain portion of affordable housing to be built on the site. Meanwhile, more and more cities start to value the importance of the public opinions and thus make the public hearing a compulsory step. And such a process does have some improvements on the previous mentioned problem, but there are still unsatisfaction remains. The first one is that the community start to get involved and be heard, but unfortunately, in most cases, the public hearing is hard to function as a platform for consensus building. Plus, such a decision-making powers are retained in community representatives like CBA or some other forms. The issues of democracy, trust, and transparency are still unresolved. And secondly, although the community can provide local knowledge, it is still more experience-based than evidence-based. And lastly, the pro-social policy bring affordable housing only, and it's still government-led and only limited to the housing sector. So how can we further improve the process? And it's the time, I think, to introduce what is the SoCity Community DAO. In our community DAO process, the planning authority will draft a master plan, height control with variance. The dynamic control has two parts. One is the height range. Unlike the conventional static height limit number, the building can build within the height range which exceeds its original limitation. The other is a compensation scheme. For example, if the developer builds 10 meters higher, he or she must give 10% of the property ownership to the community. And besides, on the master plan control, the community DAO will vote for their construction ordinance. And put it simple here, how many extra floors they allow the developer to build. The decision-making process will be aided by the SoCity simulation toolkit. And finally, the developer can build based on the ordinance agreed by the community and give back the compensation as set by the planning authority. So let's see how the community DAO process tackle the three problems we mentioned before. Now, with the construction ordinance, the community has the chance to decide how the new construction would be as a physical structure. Meanwhile, they have the opportunity to introduce what they need by using the endowment they earn from the community compensation. And with the SoCity Community DAO Toolkit, the community can have an evidence-based insights and predictions with data, analytical methods, and agent-based modeling simulation in order to have a more holistic decision-making process. And finally, on the ownership and inequity issue, with the compensation scheme set by the government, the community can own a portion of the property in their neighborhood, for which they can decide who can use the space and the set the rent, etc. And besides the space, they can also have the money. They can subsidize the local pro-social programs, for example, affordable housing, and with the endowment they earn from the community compensation. And after knowing about why we want to design this process and what it is, let us give a brief introduction on how it works. And we will briefly touch upon some key components, concepts, and techniques. The community DAO has basically 4 components here. They are incentive policy, voting, endowment, and simulation. So let's start from the incentive policy first. Incentive policy is a mechanism to use the certain rewards in exchange for anticipated behavior. In our process, the incentive policy works between the planning authority and the developers. Like you have seen, to have more buildable area is one type of incentive. Other can be like fewer setbacks, less tax, and long-term collaboration, etc. And what we have mentioned is to give the community ownership, other including affordable housing supply, amenity supply, more local investment, etc. So one thing need to be think around is why do we need to incentivize the developers? Developers control a large portion of urban building constructions, for example, residential, commercial, office, etc. Their development prosocial, their development proposal has a great impact on cities. But as a businessman, developers are mostly profit-driven, as we know, carrying lesser doubt aspects like social, sustainability, environment, and livability. So we need to incentivize developers. And the second component in the community DAO system is the voting, and which is in the process the part of where community DAO decides the construction ordinance for the developers. Voting as a way for decision making is efficient, inclusive, and contextual. Here, we'd like to spend more time to talk about the contextual part. In decentralized voting, different people can have different voting power. In community DAO, the power is correlated to one's relevance to the community and the construction. For example, a person who have lived here for more than 10 years can have higher voting power than a newcomer in this community because of the local knowledge he or she have, or the affection. And the voting also helps the consent building. It is facilitated with some self-reinforcing smart contract. As voting rules are pre-programmed in the smart contract, the participants will be able to believe the mechanism since no one can make any changes on it. And finally, voting can be trusted. With the on-chain data management, all the votes are recorded, published, and can be traced. The whole process is transparent and trustworthy. And in our community DAO, the issues for voting can be those related to development. For example, building height limitation, rent base or cap, governance issues are another vital part. For example, how to use the endowment, the election of the community committee, etc. So the next part is the endowment. Endowment is a treasury owned by the community DAO. Its money can come from developers' compensation, profit earned from the properties, donations, etc. The community DAO will decide on how to use their endowment to improve their life quality. And finally, the simulation. Using data analytical models, the simulation algorithm, the community can have more evidence-based insights about the choices, and real-time simulations and reliable predictions can make the comparison and iterations more effortless, which we believe is crucial for wiser decisions made by the public. So in a word, SoCity Community DAO is a new process for prosocial urban development. It is designed with the vision for a community of ownership, trust, and prosocial, pro-sustainable. And that's for the introduction. Thank you. And this is the Twitter and the Discord link to the SoCity project. If you are interested, please follow us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, thank you, Chance. And hi, everyone. I'm Charlotte. Now, I hope the presentation is quite clear and fun for you. Now we are going to get our hands dirty and play the game. So let me share screen. Yes. So in the coming session, we are all going to play a game to simulate as what can you do as a member of community DAO. The game will be, the link of the game has sent in the email to you. And the game is composed of two parts. One is a tutorial, which is a step-by-step introduction about the key concepts, ideas, and some actions you can do as a member. And the second part is a sandbox, where you will apply what you have learned in the tutorial into two buildings in Kendall Square, and where we will make a group decision for how our community will be. Now, I will quickly go through the game to give you an idea about what you. Yes, thank you. So if you open the game, you will see the get started, and you click on that. This is the first page of the game. The first chapter is all about the introduction. These are the key concepts Chance has already covered in the presentation. And from here is the first time you can play with it. The first decision you need to make is the incentive for the developers. The slider here is how many floors you think the developers can build extra floors. So when you are sliding here, you can see that the indicator panels are changing. Here are some evidence that can help you to make better decisions. So when you click submit, you will see how everyone has made their vote. By playing with the button here, you can see the weight and non-weighted voting. You can compare the ideas to compare the results to see the idea. Then you click on the performance, you can see a comparison between the community DAO practice and the current practice. The red one is the community DAO and the blue one is the current. Then you will go to the next game, which is how to use the endowment. So by clicking on the items here, you are designing your own composition of the endowment usage. Sometimes you will see that you can't actually click something and you can see that pop-up message on the top. It's because you don't have enough money for that. So you may need to unclick something and to introduce the new. Similarly, you should refer to the indicator panel here to see how the performance of the community will be. And if you submit, you can see the voting distribution. And if you click the performance, is the final result. This would be the final page of the tutorial game. And if you put your mouse on the left-hand side, you can see the navigation panel. Here you can go back to any pages and review any key concepts or actions you are still not so clear. But if you click the next here, you will go to the sandbox game, but we encouraged you to spend the coming 15 minutes all in this tutorial game because we have the next session for dedicated to the sandbox. So now everyone please go to the link here and enjoy. If you have any questions, you can just raise your hand or directly speak up or type in the chat box. All of our mentors will help you to answer. So enjoy.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Chance. Thank you, Charlotte. That's all from our online partners. So here,
Sorry, Jie, I think you have mute yourself.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think we can split
we can separate.
the
That's all.
online and offline.
Okay,
Thank you, Charlotte.
sure.
Yeah.
Enjoy. The password is Shanghai. Yes. We have 3 minutes left for the session. If you still have a few pages left, I guess you need to speak up.
So this time is used for playing with the tutorial and the game. Am I right?
Oh, yes, only the
Yeah.
tutorial.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, time's up. I hope everyone has finished your game. And now we are going to the sandbox. So in the coming session, you click the next, then you can see this. You click on the sandbox. You can see here is a 3D map of Kendall Square. It's placed next to MIT, and we choose 2 buildings as our case study. Here, what you are going to do is basically same as in the tutorial. You need to move in the slider to decide how to incentivize the developer, like how many extra floors you can approve. And then when you slide in here, you will see you have some money in your endowment. Then you need to decide how you will going to use the endowment. Then the next step is, because we are now going to make you into different small groups, and we are going to see the group decisions. So when you have made your decision, you need to manually input your decision in this spreadsheet here. When you are in your breakout room, your mentor will send the mirror link to the chat box. Please follow that chat box and also the name of your mentor. Then to use the stickers and also the number here to input your decision. So now please enjoy the sandbox game. And meanwhile, we will send you into different breakout rooms. Hi guys, I'm Charlotte Diwen. I have sent the link to the chat box. If you have make your decision, please input your decision onto the board. Here, as you can see on my screen.
Maybe I put in the wrong seat.
Sorry.
What is the name of that seat? I mean, what is the D? Okay, I put my in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
E.
group D, group D.
Yeah. Maybe I can copy them and do it
Yes,
again.
please.
Yeah, okay.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
will.
Yes, we are on group D.
Charlotte, I have a question.
Mhm.
So the first one is the green space, but I think on the website, it only give you like public open space.
Oh, it's the
It
same.
looks like, oh, it's the same. Okay,
Yeah, it's the
good to
same.
know. Thank you.
Maybe I finally succeed. I put 3 times wrong place. I think I find a group now. That's and what next? I put my things there, the emojis. Now I'm waiting the next step, I think. Is that okay?
Oh, but have you put your choice? Oh,
Yeah.
I see, I see, I see, yes.
Yes.
Oh, we
So
just
now
wait for everyone finish it, and then we
Okay,
can have a good result.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Yarmo.
Hi. Hi.
Hi. Nice to see you here.
Nice to see you. Yes. So are we in the same group or I'm trying to figure out
Yeah.
what.
Yeah, I asked Charlotte to invite both of us in the same group.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I put 3 times in the wrong group first. My answers. But
Wait,
that's okay. That's okay.
oh, I think Tan and Leon also put in the wrong place. I will copy here. It's a bit
Oh,
confusing because
sorry.
yes, because the discussion
sorry.
Zoom room is different from this board.
Okay.
Not my fault. I followed Tan and Yamo.
I follow everybody else, so I get where the most people. I went there first.
Let me see.
Right.
But even that is an information kind of important insight that people follow each other when they do this kind of test or questionnaires or games.
Yeah. That happened like in the decision-making process, and also.
Yes. Yeah.
I think we still have Simona, Song Chen, and Vera. Hi, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Have you put your choices onto the board? Board D.
I just doing it first.
And what about Vera and Simona? Oh, and also for Jamo and Leon, you still need to put the number for the buildings, building A and building B. I see it's still N.
Okay, so now I didn't get it. So.
Also.
Oh, you mean the number of floors? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, it seems the other 3 are not here, I guess. Okay, maybe we just proceed on first. So now let's have a round of grouping self-introduction before we proceed on the discussion and forums and group decision. And we can use the 3 sentences here to have the introduction, my name, my research interest, and my favorite beverage. So I will start with myself. My name is Charlotte Jiwen. My research interest is all about cities, interactive arts, and also like how to use tools to improve city lives. And my favorite beverage is Coke Zero. And then on the board is Rui Ying. Hi.
Hi, my name is Rui Ying, and my research interest is interaction design and urban city development. And my favorite beverage is water.
Healthy. Okay, thank you. And Kyoko, is it?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Kyoko. My research interesting is about DAO, DAO and design. My favorite beverage is Coca-Cola.
Are
That's
you
all.
in
Thank you.
Japan?
Yes, I'm in Japan.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. And Jarmo, hi.
Okay, hi. So I'm Jarmo. And my research interest is kind of ecosystems, different kind of stakeholders in the environment and environmental design as such. And my favorite beverage is white wine, even though I don't drink it all the time, but if that's okay, I can say that.
Yes, I prefer red to white as well.
Okay.
Okay, and then, oh, how to pronounce it? Juro.
Jolo. Hi, my name is Jolo. I'm Tokyo too. My research interesting is what can design do for ecological diversity and animal protection. And my favorite beverage is water.
Okay, another word. So what's your favorite animal? This is our question for last year.
Cat.
Oh, okay. And Tan.
Hi everyone, my name is Tan Wang. My research interest is urban simulation, artificial intelligence, and so on. My favorite beverage is Sprite, and my favorite animal is squirrel.
Oh, okay, thank you. And finally, Leon. Hi, Leon. Hi, Leon. Are you there?
Sorry, I mute.
Oh, okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Yeah, okay. I'm sorry for my name is Leo. My background is architecture design, and I'm looking at urban HCI and also urban simulation. Right, but I like tea, and my favorite animal is dog. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And also Simona, Song Chen, Vera, are you there? Do you want to introduce yourself to us?
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, my name is Song Chen. I come from China, and my research interest is urban informatics and ecosystem in urban informatics. And yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Vera and Simona, are you there? Seems they haven't talked.
Hey, my name is Simona. My research interest is landscape architecture. My favorite beverage is coffee.
Oh, okay. I have a coffee by my hand right now. I just double check, did you put your decision into other boards or you cannot access the game because we can't see your name on the board here. I just double check it, but it's fine. Okay, so now we need to calculate the group decision. So in the last row there, for the building A and building B, we need to calculate the average. And for the other amenities and the prosocial programs, we need to count how many times each amenities has been chosen. I will starting from the first one. Maybe you can help me to count the others. Like how many star face each amenities have, and just change the number at the right side. Take my calculator. Hmm? Hmm? Oh, there's a 0, which barbershop. Okay. Okay, so it seems the most popular amenities in our group is the green space. And now I'm going to put the scenario into the sandbox and have our group result. Green space, oh my god, so many 3. Oh, Songchen has 4, 3, 4, with your cycle and daycare. Okay, I guess this is our group result. And I do have some questions. Now we are going to have an open forum to talk about everything, like everything since the starting of this workshop. But for the group result, I do observe some interesting things. Yamo, why do you choose 1 for building A and 10 for building B? Do you have any?
Yeah, for sure. I think I looked these 2 buildings. I want to kind of fit them to the environment to maximize building B, which seems to be standalone, have a lot of space around it, no shadows, and building A, which is connected to existing buildings. I didn't want it to cast shadows and wanted to dominate the environment so much. So I minimize that and maximize another building, which is kind of isolated and standalone.
It's a good, very good observations. Yes, because we have mock up this game for many times, but this is my first time seeing someone making decision based on the environmental impact.
Yeah.
Yes, very. And now we have some open questions below, and some are about the decision-making process. Like we emphasize a lot about the voting, but do you think it's actually good as a decision-making process, or there should it also have some shortcomings or backdrops? And also we are talking about different weights, like in our design, if you live in the community for more years, means you can have more voting powers. But do you think, like, is there any other parameters we can design to distribute the voting weight? And also, do you think there are any other scenarios we can make the community voice? And also, are there any obstacles to really launching the program in reality? So you can go through the questions here, just speak up or type anything. And if you don't want to speak, I can share some of my own thoughts about the voting. I do think voting is very efficient because we are running based on a smart contract and we just click on the phone and the vote will be sent. But in many scenarios, people are very lazy. I mean, other organizations, and when we do voting, only 10% of the people are actually doing the votes. So maybe sometimes it's not so idealized, not so equal. So it's a critical problem. How can we encourage everyone to vote for their voice?
Yeah. So we can talk. We don't need to write the notes. So we can talk here.
Yes, you can talk.
Oh, okay. I totally agree. And I want to add that voting makes sense if we are very specific what to vote. I mean, here we vote so many things, which some are related, some are not, some are important, some are not. And I think, that is for me, that's a crucial part. And I'm not convinced that we vote from the right things right now, all the right things. And that doesn't mean anything negative, but it just means that this kind of system need to be really tailored or focused what we vote about. And so that people understand the consequences. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense if I don't get the consequences.
Yes. That's why we are using introducing the simulations to the decision-making process. But what's your ideas about the simulation? Do you think we need to introduce other aspects? Like how can we, what are the people need to know when they are actually voting for the amenities? Like instead of the conventional density, diversity, traffic, are there any other things we need to know before we try to introduce something to the communities?
If I could add something, I would say that here we mix two things. We mix the builder, who is building the building, the developer, and then we mix the operators who are actually operating, making this service to happen. And that is very unclear. Who is providing what?
Okay, you mean like in our decision-making process, we already need to know that?
Yeah, if you think about daycare, it's not about the space, it's about service. It's about people who are offering that and business who are offering that. And so it should be very clear that what is about space and what is about service. For me, daycare is service. Of course, it needs space, but the space doesn't solve it. So these are the things I mentioned to be more specific. It doesn't mean anything negative towards this thing, but it's just to be more specific.
Yes, we understand. But this is only for the workshop, so we try to make the process simpler.
No problem. I just try to be very, very straight.
And others, how do you feel about today? It's not so long. We only have 2 minutes left. So just anything you can share.
Yeah, I'd like to share some of the thoughts about voting. So actually, I have learned some course from the game theory, and now there's some different mechanism for the group decision. And sometimes voting can produce some paradox outcomes. We have different strategies and mechanisms to generate the outcomes. Sometimes we may think it's pretty simple, we just add some weights. But if we apply for different mechanism, the results can be very different. This is a pretty complicated question, so I cannot elaborate now. Most of this knowledge I forgot. But if we check some search online, we will find some different voting strategies. So yeah, it's worth to check more on this topic about how to design a efficient and like fair voting mechanism to better express everyone's profits.
True.
Yeah, like for example, some Condorcet winner or board account and different kinds of mechanisms. And we can never think that this is very simple thing for voting. It's actually very complicated.
Yes. Okay. Comes up. We need to go back and thank you everyone. Close.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Yes. So. Okay, well, I think we need to wait for someone. Okay, so now we are going to have our final session, just a cross sharing about the findings in different groups. Yes, so because we still have 15 minutes, I guess we can go through everyone. So just start with group A, Guangwei. What's your findings in your group?
Hi. Our group have 5 peoples, and we just set each values of this, and then we put this into our game, and we finally cite the building A, it owns have 4 extra floors, and building B have 5 extra floors, and the library is we think the library is the first things we want to build, and this is the orders. So, and finally, we found that our result can be have more effective for the equity and walkability for our commute. And we think that when we just make the decisions, and even we can saw what other people just put in there, we can maybe also won't be influenced by them, and we can always do the decisions by ourselves. And meanwhile, we think that the voting is an effective way for our to make the decisions to combine the DOA in the community. So yeah, we think we all enjoy the games, and the effect is very it's pretty good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And Guo He, Heidi. Oh, type a lot.
Hi, Charlotte. We have two mentors in my group, in group B. Yeah. Me and Tongqing, I and Tongqing, and okay, I will.
Yes, I think I saw a lot of text below. Maybe you can mainly share about the text, like your discussions instead of the game.
Yeah, so we have the data, but it's average, like building A and building B is 6, both 6, and we have four endowment, like green space, library, and grocery stores, and 是这个吗？Yeah, and green commute. Maybe this green space we cannot find in below this box. Then we choose this one, public open space. So we have 4 endowments.
Okay, what about the discussions? You can share 1 or 2 because our time is limited.
Yes. Most of people is interested in DAO. Yes, it's for its decentralized meaning. Yes, and some people think DAO and it's like community in Web3, and yes, in this area, it was it's like a character. The character is autonomous rights, and they will have interest in DAO. And as we saw, our data is like average. We have 8% and 7% data is right in here. And yes, I think it is the DAO's charming. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
And I also noticed one sticker is very interesting. I didn't notice just now, but I found it. Do you think voting is effective in decision making? And someone answered no. And he or she think most people would think from his own perspective for his own benefit rather than collective interest. So yeah, so a member in our group don't trust in the voting. It's very interesting because as a member of DAO, everybody should think clearly about what he represents. Does he represent himself or represent a group of people whose interests he actually represents? Is everybody should think clearly about that.
Yes, it's true. Actually, in our group, Tan has also mentioned something about the voting, the paradox of voting. Even if we have the same votes, but if we use different mechanisms to calculate the result can be very different. I think that the design of the voting system is have a lot of knowledge we need to study. And I saw Ke Jiang has raised his hand. Ke Jiang, do you want to share something?
Yes. Hi, Charlotte. Hi, everybody. So actually, my group member also mentioned that the decision making is quite important, and the voting system is quite important, especially for the visualizing the results and to predict or calculate the profits of our that's quite important for DAO members to make a better decision making. And another group member mentioned that his name is Denchen, and she's focusing on the environmental science, and his results is quite close to the group results our group's result. So actually, she is undertaking some research about finding the connection between environments and human from outside and inside. So she choose. She choose green space and the library and job train for amenities and other programs. So that's it.
Oh, you mentioned Dan Chen reminds me of Jarmo in our group because you can see his result is quite interesting. The building A is 1 and the building B is 10. So we talk about his reasons. It's very impressive. He said building A is surrounded by a lot of buildings. So if this building gets too high, he will have a great urban impact on the surroundings. But the other one is standing alone building. And even if it's higher, you can the economic value can override its environmental impact because it doesn't have neighbors. So as a I'm used to be trained as an architect, so when I listen to these reasons, it's really impressive to me about the environment from the environmental perspective. So, and for my group, Yamo also mentioned about our voting because he think our voting is a little bit too simple. We may need to also consider the operators and the builders instead of only and also the service providers instead of only the space. But this is only for the workshop. So in the future, we may need to refine the voting system and to make it more sophisticated. Like one key thing is when you want somebody to make decision, he or she must have a fully understand about the choices. So only when he understands the options can she make the better decisions. I guess that what I learned from today. And for the other side, Ziyi, Xiangyan, Zhongyuan, and Tongqing, do you have anything to share? I can't see how many groups here.
Okay, me and Yan are in the same group, so we can share about. So for the final results, we reached a consensus about building 5 extra floors for building A and 5 for building B. And as for the public amenity chosen, and we have a little debate about whether to choose grocery store or library or public or green commute. And we saw that library we can access elsewhere out of the community. So eventually we all agree that green commuting is worth choosing. So we eventually choose public open space, beauty hair salon, and the grocery stores and green commuting. So eventually we have some great scores at equality and workability. And as for the discussion, we mainly focus on the. Anyone has tracked this platform? Okay. As for the first decision, as for the very first question, Rongshi have came up a great idea that her decision is quite alien with group decision because she thinks that this result fit with a high quality community. For example, maybe barbershop library, they have alternatives. And maybe in the community member, when they choose the amenities, they want some community-based. So maybe they all have chosen from the needs to have some community-based, everyday needs-based. And we also have a debate about maybe do others sharing affect how you make your choices? And Xiar have shared her opinion about maybe when face-to-face interaction, her mind may be easily influenced by some urban planning expertise, especially the expert who knows much about this kind of knowledge or practice. So maybe then we have a debate about what's the suppose the right choice in the maybe choosing or voting process. So maybe eventually they want to have some expert and residents, maybe they have some common interests and eventually have a final result.
Okay, thank you. And so Zhongyuan, yes, you are the last. Yes.
Okay, in our team, all of the members are very interested in this group, in this kind of sandbox games. So especially Song Zhiling, and I really fond of to communicate with him about our program. So maybe Song Zhiling, you can ask our more questions in details.
Oh, okay. So, because you are the last group, I guess and it's already 12. So according to official schedule, our whole session has already ended here, the workshop. But since we this year we are not in line with the offline, we don't have a following workshop to attend. So we can open this Zoom link for 10 or 15 more minutes. If you have any questions for us for City Science Lab Shanghai or for the workshop today or for SoCity, you can stay here and ask your questions. If you are tired or you have other things to do, you can leave. So yes, our workshop has ended now. Thank you for joining us today. Yes, so we can have the QA now. And this is the link for SoCity DAO and also for CSL Shanghai. We are going to have a internship program for the new year. We will post the information sooner or later. If you are interested, you can join the WeChat first. And so it's Song Zhiling, right? What's your questions? You can speak up now.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, thank you for the session. I was asking Zhongyuan for the matrix criteria to choose about all these services and the spaces in your sandbox. Like you have a laundry, barber, cleaning space, grocery, shopping. So like, what were the matrix for your team to pick all these in your sandbox?
So Jiajie and Hejiang about the matrix design and amenities. Maybe I can share something first. We originally we do have a very long list of amenities, and like you need to choose from I think 20 or 30 amenities and programs. This is the composition we think the best for this community DAO development. But after a few rounds of debates, yes, you can see this is the first round of design. We have open space, education, utility, commercial, office, health, and religious. But for this workshop, we think if we provide too many choices, and you need to make the decision within 10 minutes, it's too hard. And so we decided to choose some amenities that everyone is very familiar with. You read the name, you can know what it is. That's one of our criteria in choosing the amenities. And for the matrix, Jiajie, do you want to say something? Or
yeah, just add on to what Charlotte has explained, and I can share the screen maybe to
stop sharing
to better explain it.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, it's the original version we are trying to display in this workshop. You can see it's a much larger scope of the city, but it's also in Boston, in the Cambridge area. And finally, we did some trade-off between the complexity and some optimization of the whole tool to make it much more simple, much simpler and much easier to be understood. So we just cut out such a smaller piece of land to investigate, and also we hide all the details about the nearing amenity and land uses to let the users can focus on the only two buildings to tell the essential story. But one step back, we are trying to build a more complex and much more interesting sandbox game for the community DAO concept. And in this game, we have more scientific metrics because more information like the land uses and geospatial information can support much more complex indicator calculations, like the proximity or the sunlight can be calculated much more scientifically. And we can explore in different buildings, and all the program amenities we are voting for today can really happen in this 3D map. If you vote, for example, if you are voting for a laundry, it can really happen and appear in somewhere here, maybe in this piece of land, in this piece of floor, etc. And in this game, you can play with multiple pseudo agents to act as the other DAO members in this city. So basically, we are trying to draw a much more complex version of the tool, but in this workshop, just considering the time budget, we just show a piece of it. But the whole tool is open source on GitHub. Yeah. And about the metrics, I think Kejiang can give more details about it.
Yes, of course. So for the metrics of our community stake or community DAO, so actually we consider, we choose metrics from different sides. I mean, such as micro and macro aspects. So actually you can see here, actually it's a simplified version in our in this summit, because we only choose like 5 metrics. I mean, that's traffic, sunlight, or you can say this is from micro side, because it's only have the influence for the local residents, or for the building, the projected building, which is quite close to the target building. And for the macro sides, I mean, like we choose like walkability and from carbon, I mean the carbon neutralization, and actually it's there are metrics which can quantify the influence from micro aspect for the whole community or the urban. So actually we consider more metrics in the comprehensive version of the community DAO. We choose more than like 8 metrics, such as the proximity, and use like the Shannon index to calculate the amenities diversity. We also consider the equity, which presents human diversity. So actually, I summarize my answer is that we consider the metrics from micro and macro aspects, as well as we consider to use the metrics from the influence on people or human and the environment. So like I said before, for human, we choose like the human diversity, and for environment, we choose like the proximity, sunlights, So I think it's quite comprehensive, and like Judge said, we have a more comprehensive version of the community DAO, which is based on the agent-based modeling or simulation. So this metrics can reflect the decision-making of different agents' choice. So I hope my answer can help you to answer this question.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I got a better understanding of this model. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, any other questions?
If I may say, it's not maybe a question but comment again. Like I said in the group, I mean, this is great work.
Thank you.
But my problem is the thing that it's mixing the operations and locations. So and somehow you need to separate them, because they are, whatever space you are building, whatever location building you are designing, the operations are independent from that.
Yes.
And laundry can be in this building or that building, or daycare center can be wherever. So I think if you could find a way how to clearly separate them and then match them together, not originally put them together, but let people to evaluate, okay, I want this service and I want this location. If you understand what I mean. So they initially they don't need to be one thing. You could find a place where they connect, kind of matching, or through the voting even thing. That's my main point. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yes. So maybe our voting item is too simple, because if we are saying you want a barber shop, it's actually not so clear. Are you want the space for a barber shop, or you only want a vendor, but it can be anywhere?
Yeah, actually it is like that. And we all know that the vendor can be anywhere, and the vendor can be a combination of many things. And that is no negative thing, but it's just a way to decouple them from each other.
Yes. It's like one space, but it can have multiple operations from day to night. It can have different vendors there, or during weekends we can. So it's not only.
And how you place. My favorite barber shop in Shanghai is the place where they have a flower shop, a pet shop, a bar, and the barber shop together.
Yes.
What is that? I mean, that is crazy combination of things. Can be situated anywhere. So I'm just saying that, okay, can we vote about operations? We want these things to happen in the community, and then we find a way to match them. And I think the matching don't need to be about voting, because matching is about money. This building at this time is cheaper to the barber shop than this neighboring building. So the voting can be more focused on the operations. I want this and I want that. That's just my opinion. But,
yes, it's more like services.
Yeah.
Thank you. And any other comments or questions? So let's set up a mechanism. If in 1 minute it's all silent, we will end the workshop.
Hi, John. I have a very simple question. That is, what does DAO mean?
It's decentralized autonomous organization.
I'm not mean DAO. I mean ROI.
ROI is return of interest. 回报收益。
Okay.
But again, before you end the session, I want to thank you all. I mean, amazing work. And it's just a question that many of the things are quite complicated to solve. So this natural evolvement that you need to take one step in order to know what is the next step. So that's very good steps.
Thank you so much. So it is.
Hello?
Yeah.
We can hear you now.
Have you heard my question?
No, it's all silent.
Oh, all right. Maybe my connection is poor. Yeah, never mind.
But you can repeat it.
Yeah. First of all, I want to thank everyone from Shanghai and from abroad, all of your hard work and your effort to make this workshop very successful one. And I think all of the participants all enjoy this whole process. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah, could you have one more minute to introduce what's the next step of SoCity DAO?
The next step. So we have this is SoCity is a very large structure working for decentralized incentive policy. And in this scenario, we are working for community issues. So we try to use the SoCity toolkits to improve the community development process. And aligned with this, we have another program for green commute, which is more focused on individuals. We try to use a similar system to incentivize every individuals to take their green commute behaviors, like to choose to travel greener, to cycle to walking, or to take public transportation. And for that, we have already developed and deployed a DApp on iOS. Yes, so finish everything, but it's only for our internal beta version now. And I guess in the coming 1 or 2 months, we are going to launch the app for public beta.
Cool. Cool. Because of the topic of this summit is the hyperlocal solution to the urban challenges, to the global challenges. So my suggestion is that one of the direction of SoCity DAO is to focus on the maybe Shanghai-based community research, so we can have our solutions from our end and bring the knowledge to the global network. Yeah.
Yes, we are based in Shanghai, so yes.
Am I right, Yamo? Cool.
Absolutely. I mean, there are so many opportunities in Shanghai to do this, and especially to think about the issue, what to vote about, and what are the things that community wants. And when we talk about communities, it's more about interaction ecosystems than the buildings. So I think this is a great improvement if we can really think about the community, the sense of community, and then buildings separately. And what if you think about this as maybe this is a stupid kind of analog, but some kind of matchmaking program that you matchmake communities, sorry, the operations and environments, buildings and activities. So you let people to think about what activities they want, and the algorithm is matchmaking rather than just showing the building. Because even I'm architect, I think the buildings are just a framework. They are not the core of the community, just a framework, yeah.
It's more about the activities and people inside.
For sure. And I'd be happy I'll be coming back to Shanghai next week. I'm now still in Finland. I'd be happy to join any activity of this in some way.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, we are.
So this will be one of the tools that will be implemented in our study case, and also in a joint course. Charlotte?
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, sure.
So do we have any other comments, questions, or is 12:19? Let's wait for 12:20.
Good for me.
I'm fine, I'm happy.
What's the time in Finland now?
7:20 p.m.
Oh, okay. Okay, it's 12:20 now. So let's end the workshop and have a good day, good evening, good morning. There are people from every time zone.